I'm kicking in your front. Great peeping in your drapes. Rob making the plate in the back. Chief Hall Podcast, looking at you. We right here, and we just want to jump right into this Tariq Hill situation.
Let's do it.
And we want to find out. Now, it's generational to me with a lot of things we talk about and how, especially how the young folks respond to certain things. Of course, he signed a contract. He agreed to do that. He came after the bag. And I just want to just really consider the aspect of, okay, you came after the bag. You left a winning team to come here. Now, you got to make a decision because it's also, it somehow seems you can't have both in a league like we got at certain positions. What you think about that? You can't have both. Can't have the bag and the rings and championship unless you're Tom Brady and somebody else.
You thought he came here just for the bag?
For sure.
I thought he came here for the bag, knowing that he was going to get a good contract, knowing who he was to the NFL. However, I think he wanted to come back home to Miami and see what he can do here with the Dolphins.
Okay, so you don't know nothing about that whole subject.
I think it was purely for the bag, and then of course he wanted to come here to win.
He just said the same thing I just said.
He's not from Miami. He's from Georgia, so he ain't coming home.
So
So my point was what I was trying to make is, and let me not be long-winded. Okay. My point is, number one, it was about the money. That's number one, just like you said, Frank. Number two is the Dolphins, they was building the team. You understand? And he came here with the expectations of a good quarterback like Tua, because he did make a statement about Tua. Remember that statement that he made? He said something along the lines that Tua was a little bit like more accurate than Mahomes. So I know y'all remember that statement. But
I remember that was a bunch of malarkey. But now he's seeing that the decision he made to win, that's what I'm saying. You got to make a decision. He left a winning team. They won the Super Bowl. They're always in the AFC playoffs. They're always in the AFC championship race, always in the Super Bowl race. So you come here because they didn't want to pay you as much as the Dolphins offered you with a $120 million contract he re-signed, guaranteed $72 million. They were not going to pay that for a receiver. So he left and he wanted to come here where somebody was going to offer him that and also be alongside another weapon, which was Waddle was there. And he, with Tua's accuracy, he thought it would be a match made in heaven.
Yo, both of y'all overthinking this thing.
With Tua's injuries and all the different things it's played out to be, he wasn't doing his homework because Tua is not the answer for the Dolphins.
I agree with you with that.
He playing like a backup, and I've been hoping that he wouldn't be continually to play like a backup, but unfortunately, that's all he played like.
But what do you think they should do now?
Tua is very interesting because he got starter numbers, and potentially great numbers,
quick release,
but he don't have the consistency he don't have that.
He trash.
But yeah, he's one hit away right now from the NFL going, hey, we're a little scared now.
Yeah, he got. It's real interesting how accurate. I mean, they talk so much about all his accuracy and all that, but then you ask somebody, would you take him on your team? They probably say no.
You're right. I believe that.
Ain't no GMs want nobody like Tua. Them injuries and not making decisions. He just fit right into the history of the Dolphins with that. I have everybody always in cardiac arrest. Make me sick.
I was looking at some of the stats and some of the numbers. Now, last year, the Dolphins I think they was ranked number 1 and 2 in total offense, defense, all that shit, right? Mm-hmm. The potential that this team had, you understand? And the Dolphins, we were hurt. A lot of key players were hurt.
Defensively too, yeah.
On defense, we had Chubb and I think it's Jalen Phillips. So we was completely hurt. And then, of course, Tua, you understand? He got hurt. And then now these last 2 games, he was out with a fucking hip injury, man. I mean, what we grew up watching, they would not sit out players.
NBA or NFL.
NBA or NFL.
Let's go back to what I think Tariq. I believe it's for the bag, man, but I think everybody in a weird way wants to come down here and play in Miami. I'm not saying that Miami, because you want to live down here too and be able to play down here in Miami. Douglas, Georgia, where he's from, is the same pretty much as Florida. I don't care what nobody
How's
tell me.
that, man?
I mean, country is country, but it's still the same people know each other, the same players, the same. We're close in division rivalries from high school and whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah, it's just, these guys, he acting like he an expert in football. He'd be reading some stuff and listening to Skip.
Tariq is coming to. He's finally going to have to just admit that what he thought Tua was, he's not. He thought he was going to be able to do that. He wanted to make the decision to come for the bag, sound all good, and he was doing a good thing. Oh, he's even more accurate than Mahomes. He trying to make that thing sound all delicious and pretty. But, man, look, he's finding out that, man, if I stay here, I'm with how Tua playing and how that offensive line and all these different things, I'm not going to get.
But that's what you're supposed to do, right, for your team. You're supposed to hype them up, right? Well, you're supposed to show them some love. You're supposed to give them some,
I'm all about.
He won a Super Bowl out of everybody that was on that team. Not everybody on the team, but like I can't think of the other players right now. But
he was leaving Mahomes, which is phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
And then he trying to big up Tua, which doesn't even compare to what this kid is as far as generational.
He gotta hype.
He just was trying to make his decision sound like it wasn't.
You gotta hype him
like
up.
he wasn't insane. Instead of just saying, "Look, I'm coming here because y'all offering the money. Kansas City don't want to offer it now. I'm 8 years in already. I got to start looking out for the future of my family."
I get that because that's the reason why
that's,
he did
that's
it.
what he should have talked about.
So if you said the bag,
ain't because he was coming over here for that's the bag.
So if you said the bag because of that, then I get that. But deep down inside, he's not going to say that too because that looks like you're not a team player. If you're just saying, "I'm just coming there for the bag and I don't care about anything else," even though that might be true.
Yeah, no, but that's what you need to be able to say and be a man about it and say it because this is what it boils down to. Now that he has come out and said he doesn't know how it is, it's going to be some mending to do if he's ever going to stay here and have a good career. Or maybe it's time and maybe the Dolphins can trade him and do something with him. What makes great to me is attitude along with ability and how marketable you are for mankind in a sense, or for the league or for people. Great players to me are not players that are just on the field and they could do their thing. Because right now he's only been 8 years. He needs, he got some more playing to do.
But you don't think he's a leader?
Great. I think he's an elite receiver based on his speed.
You don't
his
think he's
hands, he don't have elite hands to me.
But do you think he's a leader?
No.
Okay.
I think that he was wrong for going on camera saying that shit because that's a bad look because other teams is going to be looking at that because remember he already got in trouble already this year with the whole speed and with the police and all that shit, right? So all that shit is going to be attached somewhat to his character, to his legacy. Let me just say that, right? So that shit going to be attached to his legacy.
Or his as they say, his papers that going to follow him.
Right.
That's going to be on your papers. Everybody's seeing you. You'll talk about the team when you ain't happy or when things ain't going your way. Instead of understanding this is a business, this is a game, this is what it come to. You pick the quarterback. You pick the team that didn't really have a franchise quarterback. You left a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
And you think you're going to come to a team that don't got a franchise quarterback and going to have all your stats and all of what you – and get the ball, you wasn't thinking that through, bro. So you came for the bag.
Answer this question, right? What team do you think that he can possibly go to? And
franchise
that would be a good fit for him. Because he
that got a franchise
he can go to any team, right? And most of these teams do have franchise quarterbacks, right? So I'm talking about to win.
I saw Commanders in the loop. Which would be a good squad. That'd be a good team to go.
Okay.
Wherever you go, play your behind off, and never complain about it. That's what I love about Jerry Rice, Emmitt Smith, and that old school. You mentioned it, and I always talk about it when we talk about basketball. But the mindset is so different.
Yeah,
the mindset, man. Them brothers, I don't care. Jerry Rice was catching bricks with his dad. It didn't matter.
That's a different generation.
It's a different generation.
It didn't matter. But
so if it's a different generation, what do you think? What do you think about? If it's a different generation, what do you think about him now? You think he's complaining now? He made a comment right now.
He's complaining.
Okay,
with his facial expression, his body language,
he's
upset.
He's upset. Anybody be upset? Not one.
Okay, you can be upset without saying I'm out. He said that.
Well, they were just out. He was doing what you just said. He was being honest. They were asking him his future here with the Dolphins.
Well, listen,
he under contract. What they got to ask him was his future. You under contract for 2 more years. They ain't got they baited him into a trap.
I think Tariq need to go to a team that has a coach that's not going to put up with that type shit. I think McDaniel is a offensive coordinator, period.
And that's what he's on offense.
Right? I'm not talking about a head coach. I'm talking about a offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Point blank, period. That's it.
That don't get in nobody's face.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Now, a coach is a Mike Tomlin, Andy Reid, like these type coaches. These old school type coaches that ain't gonna put up with the shit. That's gonna put down, okay, look, these are my rules. This is this is that. Right?
Andy ain't yelling at
Period.
nobody.
Bill Parcells.
Andy ain't yelling that much. It's just that he's a respected coach. He was great at Philly, and he's
You don't know that.
He was. Well, I don't see him yelling at people too much. And I seen what's his name, her boyfriend. What's his name? Yelling at him on the sideline. He was kind of coy about it. The star player. What's his name, man? God, though.
Who?
Kelsey.
Oh yeah.
Kelsey was yelling at him in his face.
Was yelling at who?
Andy Reid. But Andy Reid just kind of played it cool and probably talked to him later. That's the family business. But I think personally, we don't know what Daniel said to Tariq after that interview, because he could have been blindsided by the interview, which he probably was. So here's the thing. That's the owner and general manager that can go to Tariq and say, hey, whoa, man.
Now that the season over, go ahead and look at what is out there for you. But honor the contract and play ball. And the Dolphins got to really consider what they're going to do with Tua from here on out. And we got to have better backup quarterbacks than somebody off a practice squad.
That's right, 100%.
And this is a business, and for the life of me, since I'm born in 72, since I can remember, there's only a few years that the Dolphins have played like football is a business instead of having whatever they got going on. So let's really think about playing this thing and doing this thing like a business, and let the Dolphins go ahead and get stuff in place so people can stop having heart attacks and upset and throwing their plates of food at the TV down here in Miami.
I think Tariq's not going anywhere.
He probably won't, but if it's probably the writing is on the wall when you come out public like that, and it's probably time for him to go ahead and look. But now here's the thing:
he got to go buy the O-line some sandwiches, and the general manager and all of them will talk to him.
But the O-line don't throw the ball. But anyway,
it's not about throw the ball. It's like the people who protect him.
Tariq, if you ever
act like
see
you know
this
about
podcast,
football, man. Please act like you know about football sometimes when we talk. That ain't interrupting. You getting too technical. Just act like the O-line is there to protect him too. Okay, O-line protecting the quarterback, protecting everybody. The O-line is that line. That's who they are. The offense. You know what I mean? Isn't he on offense? Answer that question.
Yeah.
Okay then. So I'm just making a point that's his offense. So he's gonna have to buy them some sandwiches and make some apologies, and let's play ball and get a new quarterback, like you said.
Well, receivers don't cater to the offensive line as much as the quarterbacks do. I don't know of any receivers that have been catering to the offensive line. But that's a good thought.
Not catering. You need them to get out that field.
But it's normally the
step in, man.
The quarterbacks.
Like
it's normally the quarterbacks.
Man, we need to wrap this shit up.
Know about football. Wrap it up.
It's normally the quarterbacks that take care of the offensive line, not receivers.
Say that one more time.
You heard me.
No, say it one more time again like that. I ain't hear you. Exactly. Bullshit. So go ahead, man. Wrap this thing up, Frankie D.
I was trying to, but you keep
all you gotta do is say, and thank you very much, or something like that. Do that, man.
I just wanted to close it up there.
Oh, you want final thoughts? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I don't have no final thoughts.
That's what that was.
But I was interrupted. But Ray do that, and that's what we do. T-Ball Podcast.
there you go, my man. Let's get out of here. Get out of here. Y'all making it too